Marvel can't really seem to catch a break recently, whether it's their movies coming out and the audience going incredibly mild. Apparently there is a new Ant-Man movie that came out recently, last month, I think. So, that's cool for all the Ant-Man fans out there. But almost everything that they've been making recently, with the exception of like Loki, because that was pretty sick, has been coming out to absolute bomb. No one really seems to care about Marvel anymore. They need to do something to drum up some attention. They need to get people invested in the superhero movies again, because everyone's kind of sick of superhero movies. I know it's not Marvel, but Shazam just came out and, well, I think about 15 people and Shazam's grandma saw that one. So it's not looking so great. I can only imagine the people in the Marvel writing rooms are frantically trying to figure out a way to get people back into it, to get people interested in the superhero movies again, to really find a villain just like Thanos once again, to really get people invested. And to be fair, they were drumming up for something big. There was a new phase where there was a new big bad that was teased in the TV shows at the end of Loki. This Kang the Conqueror character with all these multiverses and all these different versions of Kang where they could all go to war together and essentially the entire multiverse would explode if he wasn't stopped because he would cause everything to collapse. At least that's where I think it's going. I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen Loki. So maybe Marvel's on the up again. Maybe this Kang the Conqueror character can really recapture the love that people had for Thanos as a villain. I'm not trying to say that Thanos is right, but he did make a lot of money. And in America, that's basically the same thing as being right. Unfortunately, though, things have taken a turn for the worst as Kang the Conqueror has gotten a bit too much into the character and has been arrested in New York for assaulting a woman. I'm pretty sure they call that method acting when you really get into the character. Except I think that method acting, a genocidal maniac, probably it's not a good idea. You want to stick with method acting, the more normal characters, like a person that works at a restaurant, or maybe someone who is a soldier, learn how soldiers live, instead of being the person that goes around as like, oh, I actually want to do violence on everyone. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe don't method act that one, but maybe just normal act that one. So the actor behind Kang the Conqueror, Jonathan Majors, who is the big bad of this new Marvel MCU phase, was arrested in New York over the weekend for assaulting a woman, according to everyone's favorite source, TMZ. Though assaulting a woman is pretty par for the course for an MCU villain. And also assaulting men, because they're all about equal opportunity now. Pretty terrible thing to do in real life, though. Probably shouldn't be assaulting anyone. That's not great. Especially people that, probably weaker and smaller in some kind of physical way. Law enforcement sources tell us that the actor was booked on Saturday morning in charge of strangulation, assault, and harassment. Is this a scoop? Is this like the underground skinny? Do you think that they bribe police officers? What would you bribe a police officer with? Do you just roll up with some Krispy Kreme and it's like, hey, you want to tell me what Jonathan did? I got Boston cream, I got some original glazed, and it's red light. They're nice and warm. You gotta tell me right now, though. So they responded to a call around 11 a.m., and allegedly what happened was the woman relayed to the police that Majors had gotten into a dispute with her and proceeded to attack her. Now, they don't know what the relationship between the two people is as of right now, and it's important to say that this is alleged. While the victim did have visible injuries, a laceration behind her ear, redness, marks to her face, is alleged. And it's very important that, in these situations, we don't immediately jump to the conclusion that he's just a beater-upper of women and things like that, because that could definitely bring down some careers. Now, obviously, I hope the victim is okay. Red marks to the face implies that they got hit somewhere in the head, which is obviously not good. They are in a stable condition in the hospital, which is good news. The laceration behind the ear, you don't want anyone messing with your hearing, so hopefully the person makes a full recovery. They did book him. They cuffed him. They took him to jail on the spot, which means that police think that there is probable cause, that there's a good reason to arrest him, that he could potentially be a danger to other people, and, they've got a good reason to take him in. He is out of custody right now, but things are not looking good for the new phase of the MCU, which is strange because Ezra Miller, as we know, an absolute insane person, is running around as the Flash, which when you consider all the things that Ezra Miller did, that's kind of insane. They got arrested for disorderly conduct. They got accused of grooming. They got a restraining order against them. And then they got accused of burglary as well. And DC looked at this and was like, I mean, this is it's probably fine. It's probably fine. We'll let them keep being the Flash. So, assuming that you can do all that and still be the Flash, then I don't know. Maybe even if this is found to be true, which I mean we don't know as of yet if it is, but if it's found to be true, maybe they'll just keep them on. Or maybe they'll do an alternate multiverse situation. Here's an idea for you, Marvel writers. Why don't we just do it a multiverse situation if it's found to be that we need to kick out the Jonathan here? We just find another Kang from another multiverse, which is just it's just another guy, but it's still Kang. But since it's a multiverse, the person just looks different, and then that'll be fine because it would still be Kang, right? Although this is going to have a bit of a PR hit in a time where Marvel's not doing so well. And maybe they're in the writing room like, oh yeah, poggers, this is great because now people will talk about Kang the Conqueror more and we'll get more free advertisement, which they say that any advertisement is good advertisement, but I don't necessarily agree with that. You don't want to kind of stain on your name of the Kang the Conqueror individual was actually a person that went around beating women. That's probably not a good idea. It's not something that you want on your new movie, your family-friendly Disney movie. Come and see Kang the Conqueror. He really beats real-life women. It's not really what you want on there, but hey, it all remains to be seen what Disney's going to do to respond to this, and kind of they need to do a lot of responding because they need to respond to the fact that everyone thinks the movie's pretty mid now. The new Black Panther came out and everyone was like, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. And the new Thor movie came out. I'm going to be honest, I saw the new Thor movie because I thought that the last Thor movie was pretty good. I thought Ragnarok was pretty sick. New Thor movie sucks. It's really bad. The jokes are everywhere, way too often. They have a conversation, spoiler alert, about cancer. In the middle of it, they just start spouting jokes, which I understand that some people make jokes to cope with their humor, but it was really out of place. Like, it was a joke about a completely different thing, and then they went back to crying about being sad and stuff like that. So, I don't know what the Marvel movies are doing right now. I think they're in panic mode. It isn't looking so good for them, but on the bright side, it's not really looking so good for DC either. It's not like they have any real competition in the superhero movie space. I think people maybe are just getting a little bit tired of superhero movies. I'm tired of the same thing over and over again. I'm tired of the same Marvel quips. There are actual genre of TikToks now that are just based around people doing Marvel quips all of the time. And it blows my mind. Every time I see one come up, I physically recoil. It makes me upset that people just walk around doing the Marvel quip thing. All of these movies are so similar now where I just don't even want to see them anymore. After Endgame, I saw Black Widow and I was like, uh-oh, that was pretty boring. Then I saw Thor and I'm like, yep. Maybe I just don't like these movies anymore. I'm holding out hope that maybe Spider-Man can still be pretty good, but who knows? The only thing I was really looking forward to was a new Avengers with a new big bad and a multiversal villain, and well, now we might not get that, and for a very good reason, because I don't know about you guys, but I think domestic violence and strangulation on other people is bad, and we probably shouldn't do that. But hey, I mean, at least we still have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to look forward to. That might be good, and if the entire thing bombs, if the whole thing goes down and up in flames, well, maybe it'll make them actually put effort into writing something different and not just doing the Marvel quips like he's right behind me, isn't he? Over and over again, and that would be kind of nice to see. There are still some good movies out there. I just saw John Wick 4. That slapped. It's bloody awesome. It's really long though, so if you want to go see a cool shooty movie, you go check out John Wick 4. But let me know what you think. Is Marvel done? Let me know in the comments. See ya.